I want to carry on down the route that I was going in the previous video, which was all about communication, more specifically language, and how the words that we choose to use can have a positive or negative impact on how we come across. And so I want to shift it a little bit towards some kind of learnings from the business world, and specifically talk about this idea of branding. And I think this will be probably a series of videos that I'll make over the next few weeks. But I just want to introduce this idea of branding, and we'll define that in a second because it's probably not what you think it is. Branding being something really important for the way we live our personal lives to enable our ideas, our wisdom, our insights, our friendship to be taken with a little bit more weight by other people. So it stops our ideas from being ignored and misunderstood, but it also means that we can have that ability to share with other people in a more meaningful way. And so from the business world, branding, we often view branding as being kind of the visual stuff about a company. So like its logo, its colors, what its website looks like, maybe what fonts it uses. It's just a really unhelpful definition because that's not how I'm using branding at all. And I really think if you focus too much on just that, you end up missing the point, even in the business world. So the definition I'm using for branding is from a guy called Martin Neumeier, who is a designer. He's written a whole bunch of books about this, so he gets the visual stuff, but he's not focusing on that. From his point of view, branding is, the definition he uses, branding is the gut feeling that someone has about a product, service, or company. So branding, a brand is a gut feeling. It's almost a result that happens in people's hearts, in people's minds, almost entirely subconsciously. When you engage with a business, you're buying a new phone and you walk into the Apple store, or you're ordering food and you walk into McDonald's, all the tiny little and the massive signals that we see when we walk into that environment shape our gut feeling about Apple or about McDonald's. So it's really not just their logo or the big bright colors they choose to use or not use, but it's absolutely everything from the music they have in their shop, or the way their staff dress, the way their staff speak, the way their products are laid out in the shop, the lighting, whether they have plants, what kind of plants they have, what their carpet is like. Genuinely, as soon as you start thinking about it, you realize there's a list of thousands of things that affect someone's brand or a business's brand. Today, just want to recognize that we can pull that over into the personal world as well. So this isn't just a business concept. And if we leave it as a business concept, we miss out on a lot of the richness of the way that we can be a bit more intentional about the way that we communicate so that we can reach people more powerfully. So if a brand is someone's gut feeling about a business for all kinds of reasons, intentional and unintentional, then the first thing we have to realize is that branding in business happens entirely automatically. Obviously the good businesses are trying to shape it and craft it, but really it's something that will continue to happen whether they give it any thought or not. Same thing carries over into this world of personal branding, which is what we're going to talk about a little bit today. And when I say personal branding, I don't mean like trying to become a social media influencer with millions of followers on Instagram or whatever. I'm talking about the fact that if branding is a gut feeling, personal branding is personal gut feelings. So what do the people that you meet think about you, feel about you when they meet you, when they talk with you? That's your brand. Whether you monetize that or try and build a following out of that is completely irrelevant. People have gut feelings about who you are from all kinds of things, and that is your brand. And over the next couple of videos, I want to talk a bit about how you can use that and how you can shape that. But the thing I want to recognize today is just that this is something powerful, and it happens automatically if we don't think about it at all. And so therefore, it's something that's worth giving thought to. Because if you just ignore this as a concept, then you end up living your life and you build a personal brand. People will have this gut feeling about you, and it might not be what you want it to be because you haven't given it any thought, you haven't shaped it. And so your personal brand, if we want to use that language, has kind of run off and built itself, which can hugely affect your ability to get a job, communicate with people, grow and deepen in friendships, function in society. All that stuff comes down to the gut feelings that people subconsciously have about you because of the things that you do or don't decide to take some sort of control over and shape in your life. And as soon as you start thinking about this, you realize like the way you dress, the way you speak, the kind of words you use, which was the previous video, the stuff you do with your time, with your day-to-day. There's all kinds of things that have a huge impact on how you come across. And so that's what we want to be exploring over these next few videos, but just want to address today the fact that that's something that happens, and therefore let's start being aware of it, and let's start noticing in our day-to-day how our tiniest decisions can completely affect, positively or negatively, the way that people feel about us, and therefore our ability to engage with them more effectively.